Hey, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you are doing well. And it's time for the weekly track Roundup. My thoughts, my opinions, my feelings on a series of tracks that have dropped over the last week. Love them or hate them, my opinions are here. The tracks are all linked down below. Check them out, along with our Turntable Lab link. We get kickback from that, along with our Patreon page. Check it out. Get some awesome bonus monthly content while supporting the channel at the same time. Access to our Discord community, too. We also have a few recommendations that come by way of Austen. This one from Aaron and Lucy. Aaron Dillaway and Lucretia Dalt. Demands of Ordinary Devotion is the title. It is said to be a surreal lead single from noisemaker Aaron Dillaway and sound artist / poet Lucretia Dalt, their upcoming collaborative LP. And we also have one from Keith Rowe. Absence is the title. It's a bittersweet final live performance by electroacoustic improv pioneer, again, Keith Rowe. Those recommendations come by way of Austen. They will be linked down below. Check them out. All right, worst tracks of the week. We have a few. Bam, brand new remix of Astronaut in the Ocean, Masked Wolf's hit song that is everywhere right now. And it has G-Eazy on it now. If it wasn't bad before, it certainly has become bad. I love G-Eazy's line in reference to the G-O-D-T-H-O-T line in the original. It's absolutely awful. It's terrible. Yeah, it's not good. But what else can we expect from G-Eazy? All right, we also have a new one from Waves. This new teaser from the forthcoming album sounds like a very bad 90s alt-rock leftover. Help is on the way as the title. And we also have a new one from Modest Mouse, which is quite bad. It's sad. I mean, the last Modest Mouse record was not very good. And I was kind of hoping with this new LP and the teasers to the new LP that we'd really get kind of like a creative bounce back or something, but Isaac really seems to have lost the juice at this point in the band's career. I don't know what it is. This track sounds like a really awful, and I mean awful, LCD sound system impersonation. Even some of the vocal inflections Isaac is pulling off here just sound like James Murphy. I don't know why. It makes no sense. Why the switch up? And I mean, not that Modest Mouse, I'm expecting Modest Mouse to do the same thing stylistically forever, but why switch to this and then not do it well, and have it sound so derivative of kind of one of your contemporaries? It makes no sense. It really makes no sense. I don't get it. All right, meh. The tracks I was not blown away by, but thought they were worth mentioning anyway, because, you might like them more than me. They're still making some waves out here. We have this new one from Trippie Redd with Playboi Carti on it. It is a brand new single, and it's titled Miss the Rage. It's okay. I mean, I think Trippie Redd was really trying to go for a Die-Lit style Carti track and then got Carti on the song to sort of reinforce that aesthetic. The production thumps. The vocal vibe is really chill. It's hypnotic. It's repetitive. Maybe it goes on an extra minute than it needs to, but outside of that, it's a vibe, I suppose. We also have a new one from Saweetie. It's a banger. It's jittery. Not the best single I think she's ever released, but it certainly hits hard to a degree. We also have a new one from Rostam, which is very sweet on the ears, laid back, a tad bit bland, but still kind of looking forward to the new record for sure. We also have a new collaboration, a crossover between Health and Nine Inch Nails, which is quite cool considering Trent has been a fan of the outfit for a bit. And together they really try to strike up a downward spiral era Nine Inch Nails sound, which for the most part is pretty cool. Maybe unnecessarily heavy on some of the vocal filters, but for the most part, it's a really great track. I just think Health's vocals and Trent's vocals, as they try to coalesce in the end, don't really assemble all that nicely or neatly, but I still think it's mostly, well done and well-intentioned collaboration. We have a new one from Liars, which is quite epic and is attached to a very well shot and fantastic, stunning music video as well. The Apple Drop is definitely a record I'm looking forward to. I'm liking the spoken word passages on this track. I'm liking how dark it is. I'm liking how ominous it is. I just don't think some of the vocal layering on the cut is all that great. I think it's a little messy, but maybe it's something that will grow on me when I hear the song more and hear the rest of the record. I guess I'll just kind of, wait for that. We also have another track, another cover from the forthcoming Black Keys record. This one, an R.L. Burnside song of Going Down South. It's groovy, sounds like the Home Depot theme. You just want to fix some shit to it. It's quite good. It's quite good, honestly. And Dan pulls out some falsetto vocals on this one that go over quite well. I think this one has more groove and a tad bit more bite than the last single. We also have a new one from Isaiah Rashad, new record on the way. Excited about that, but this one over here has a bit of an old school, dark, grimy Memphis sound. Very 3/6, low-key, moody trap instrumentation. A very hard-hitting feature on it. It's a vibe. It's a decent listen. My issue with it ultimately is that why were we waiting so long for this? And why is Isaiah Rashad like the least attention-grabbing thing on the song? Those are the questions I'm left with, essentially. We also have a new one from Don Toliver, which is kind of trippy, very melodic, somewhat odd song structure on this one, too. And I think the melodic progression is pretty interesting in that it sort of goes higher and higher and sort of ascends as the song progresses. I think, sonically and vocally, it really could use a bit more versatility because I think Don Toliver is really kind of, beating the sound and beating the style like a dead horse at this point. But I do think this is one of his more solid singles as of late, I guess. We also have a new one from J. Cole. It's an interlude. It's titled Interlude, and it does seem to be an interlude. A very hungry teaser toward his new record, which is due Friday. It's not one of my favorite tracks of the week, but I think that's just by virtue of the fact that it's so short. It's just kind of a teaser. I mean, I will say vocally, J. Cole is so on point. The singing is great. The flows are good. The lyricism is vivid and quite intense. I think there's a great energy to this track, and looking forward to seeing how it plays out on the rest of the record. All right, we also have a new one from Coldplay. Coldplay. They're back with a really danceable new single. They're back with a new danceable, very groovy single. It's titled Higher Power. It's got a real 80s vibe to it. The 80s are back with a vengeance. What can I say? My one issue is that Chris Martin just sounds so bland on top of it. Some of the, almost like choir style vocal passages toward the end of the track are quite good, very bright, very uplifting, very exciting. But everything up until that point vocally is just so boring. Chris Martin really needs to turn up the heat on tracks like this. It just sounds like a more uninteresting version of Peter Gabriel's stuff, in my opinion. We also have a new one from Chong the Nomad with Laura Lee, No Pulp. It's got some great production. I don't know if I'm too crazy about the vocals, but it is a really cool pop cut with some, again, creative beats hanging in the back. We also have a new one from Andrew WK, which is stylistically a mishmash of a lot of things. There's some sludgy riffs. There's a synth odyssey bit too, like a prog synth section. It's got a lot of interesting ideas and sounds that are certainly new for Andrew, or seem like something he doesn't usually pull off. But it kind of comes together into a very oddly structured song that never really quite feels like it gives you true gratification for all the tension it's building up, We also have a new one over here from an artist whose work I have been following as far as recent singles go. Anjimile, I believe is the title. I know I messed that up last time, and I said I wasn't going to do it again, and I did. Anthony, what the hell is wrong with you? Well, anyway, 1978 reunion. Lomelda is on the track. And again, this second helping from this upcoming record is just some really beautiful Baroque pop. The backing instrumentation is gorgeous. The vocals, I'm a little on the fence with. I think they could grow on me with some more listens. They are a little nasally, and I think somewhat amateurish in a way that's quite endearing. But again, I think it's something that I'll probably grow to enjoy more once I hear, the vocals more on a, in the context of the entire album. It's certainly a unique vocal. It's not like, a boring or, sort of like a bland or a dime a dozen type of a vocal. It's just like a little unorthodox for something that is this lavishly arranged. But again, those arrangements and kind of the Baroque elements are great, are really good. Let's move on to the best tracks of the week. The best ones. We have Bakuro. I believe that's how the new single is said, from Tricot. It's really great, catchy, sweet, mathy rock. Give it a listen. We also have a track that I want to highlight from the new Tony Allen, new posthumous Tony Allen record. Great drumming all over this LP. R.I.P. to a total frickin' legend. Deer in Headlights is the title of this one, and it features Danny Brown, who goes absolutely nuts on this instrumental. Really chunky, awesome bass line on this track, too. We also have a new one from Slayyyter, which is a pop bop. Awesome vocal layering, punchy production, and a good song all around. Awesome for Slayyyter coming through with this new track. It's a great single. We also have a new one over here from Rodrigo. Amarante, Mare, I believe is the title. It's just a really beautiful little Brazilian ballad. Loving what he is doing on this track. Looking forward to the new record. It's quite enchanting, this single. We also have a new one from Madi Diaz, who's coming through with just like that pure power pop awesomeness on this new track, Nervous. Guitar riffs are great. Song structure is solid. Vocals are sweet. The hook pops. Again, it's just like got that real awesome power pop madness to it, and I'm loving it. We have a new one from Lump over here, which is the musical duo and project of Laura Marling and Mike Lindsay. A while back, they dropped the Lump debut, which was a decent record, but, I was sort of wondering at that point, like, how much potential is there in this? Is there a future in this? Is there going to be another Lump record at some point? And I'm very happy to see that there is going to be another Lump record, because Laura Marling with somewhat left field, almost like folk-esque electronics, to me, there's great potential in that. There's got to be something to that if you dive far enough into it. And this track over here, Animal, is fantastic. Oh my God. It's so groovy. It's so freaking sobering. The mood is intensely, I don't want to say sad, but it's definitely got a mood to it. And Laura Marling's voice sounds great. I think her last record really wowed me. She's doing great stuff here as well. It seems that she's just getting better and better and better with every few years, every time she's dropping something new. So awesome. We have a new one over here featuring Channel Trace, Flight Facilities, Lights Up. My God, this is a great house track, and the Channel Trace feature is fantastic. Just so many grooves, just so many goddamn grooves on this thing. Just love it. Love it. We also have a new one from A.G. Cook, which is a track from A.G.'s recently released record, but this is a new version of that track, I believe, Xcxoplex, but it has Charli XCX on it now, so it's like Xcxoplex, and this new version is great. I like the original version, Charli coming into the mix and switching things up structurally and instrumentally is a refreshing gift from AG and Charli. So thank you very much for this surprise track. And we also have a new one from Boombox Cartel, Reaper, featuring Jid. Jid is like really rocking it over a grimy dubstep beat. Yeah, it's quite good. I mean, it feels like, a little bit of a throwback, considering dubstep is not quite where it was at one point culturally, but it's still a kick-ass track. And we also have a new one from Backxwash over here. Hearing, I believe, the first taste of this brand new record that is coming out soon, and she employs Ada Rook of Black Dresses fame to help on some vocals and maybe even some riffs too. It's heavy, it's distorted, it is absolutely nasty sonically and lyrically. The dark occult vibes that drew me to Backxwash's music are here in spades, and I would say to a degree intensified. So very much looking forward to this new record based off of this first taste. And that has been the weekly track roundup, everybody. Hopefully you guys got some good recommendations out of this one. Again, everything I talked about linked down below. Check it out for yourself. And I will see you in the next video. Anthony Fantano, tracks, songs, listen forever.